Good day everybody, how are we all doing? It's me, Mr. Flynn, and we're back for some lovely racing once again for Season 9 here at the lovely Tier 2 lot for Formula 1 first round Australia, as you can see there on the lovely calendar. We are now getting loaded into the qualifying session with a short qualifying of around about, I'd say, I think it's around 20-ish minutes, something like that. So we're just getting loaded in now, and then once we do, I'll switch screens, get everything sorted, and we can crack on. But how is everybody in the chat today? Hope you're doing fantastic and fabulous as always. You know, Flynn is back, you know, season opener, and Flynn is back to commentating Tier 2. It feels weird doing it again, but sometimes you got to try some things again, and I've decided to step in tonight, so here we go. Like I said though, hope everyone's doing well. We've got around about 10 seconds till we get loaded in, so while still waiting, obviously you can see round number 2 is going to be a very interesting circuit, heading to Vegas for the first time at Phoenix Simsport, and then we've got round number 3, the lovely track that is my favourite track of all time on the calendar, IRL, and in the game, is Suzuka, located in Japan. A lovely, lovely little circuit, and we are loaded in, but I need to set it all up quickly. Let's, I guess, get into the session. Why is Mario Gatto having a fit? Great. Give me just a sec, folks. Need to quickly unplug it back in, and then it fixed itself. Apologies on this one. I don't know what just happened. It decided to, yeah, have its moments, pick its moments to do this today. So apologies on that one. It should come back any second. There we go. That's better. That is better. There we go, chat. We fixed it. Let me just do this so we get a better POV from my side. It will quickly flicker again, but it should come back any second, and that'll be enough of that faultiness, shall we say. There we go. That's much better. We can hear sound. It's working. We've got the Haas on the track right now of Mr. Grease in the lovely Haas. But leading the way so far is going to be... Who is it? Someone in an Alpha Tauri. So it's going to be not Peter, who's making their way through Sector 1 on their provisional outlap at this moment of time. It's going to be his teammate, but I'm having difficulty at the moment trying to find where he's on the circuit. It's Arrow, never mind. We found Arrow. Here he is. Here's Arrow, making his way through the final turn of turn number 14 now, but to start a qualifying lap for the first time of Season 9 here at Phoenix Sport. They're across the line now, and here they go then. So heading towards turns number 1 and 2. The DRS, you can see there, closes, and then will reopen once again, and drivers politely moving out of the way so Arrow can crack on, get his lap done, and see what he can do and show everybody that he's a very quick, pacey driver. And I've raced with Arrow before, and his fighting skills and defending skills, he is a great guy to enjoy with on the circuit, trust me on that one. Anyways then, he's gone purple in Sector 1 but has disappeared. It looks like someone may be going just a little bit faster at this moment of time, but Arrow was a part of the Mercedes AMG team last season, but this time out he's gone to Alpha Tauri, sister team of Red Bull, which is an interesting thing to see, but we'll see how Arrow gets on at this team. Exiting turn number 10 now with DRS activated as they make their way down to the lovely turn number 11. There is going to be a McLaren ahead of them, so hopefully they will move out of the way, or they are going to start the lap, so try and get out of the way as soon as possible. But Arrow making his way through the final couple of corners of 13 now, and in the final corner, turn number 14, DRS will be activated just before he crosses the line, so he'll get an extra boost of ERS boost and the DRS activation. He'll cross the line now. What's it going to be for Arrow? It's a 1 minute 19.452. That is the benchmark. Is anybody else at the moment able to go quicker? We've got Embassy on the track right now in Sector 1, about to go into Sector 2 very, very shortly, and so far they look quite confident. Getting very close to track limits there, especially that corner can be a little bit buggy. Turn number 4 can be a bit of an interesting one if you're racing in general or doing anything like that at all. It can give you a random 3-second time penalty. So yeah, Darkness, I'll fix that in just a second. We'll just get on board with Embassy and see what kind of lap they can do, then I'll fix the audios very, very quickly. Ferrari's going to cook some magic. And speaking of Devil, McLaren driver Embassy has invalidated on their lap time, so that does mean they won't be able to set a lap at the moment because they're invalidated. So currently, Dr. Stay down P18. Let's get the audio quickly sorted then. Audio settings. There we go. Now, hopefully, it'll be a little bit louder. Hopefully. Do let me know in the chat. Do let me know if it's loud enough. It should be loud enough, I say. It should be. But yeah, having a look at a few lap times come on the board right now. It's a Ferrari 1-2 at the moment. Scallop P1 a 1:16.942, and then Vers P2 a 1 minute 17.126. Currently, like I said, P1 and P2, so very good start in qualifying for them so far. Kakarinas P3 a 1 minute 17.296. Hugh Jazz making the way in the pit lane now, 1 minute 17.384. And yeah, Mintoki as well, P5 at the moment, a 1 minute 17.417. Looks like a lot of the drivers are in the 1 minute 17s, which is a little bit interesting. But yeah, not too bad. So Arrow in the chat is saying you forgot to put the ERS on. Imagine, Arrow. Imagine if you get to put the ERS on. That is just you know, the nubbest mistake you could ever make, you know. Unbelievable. No words, Arrow. Absolutely unbelievable. But we've got a lot of drivers peeling in to the pit lane now, and we're going to go on board with, well, we won't go on board with Mr. Bus because I believe they were on a outlap, but they decided to go completely off at turn 4, which is definitely ideal because Tix right now is on a flying lap, making their way out of, I believe that is sector 2, very, very shortly. So they'll be in sector 3 in a couple of seconds, making their way with the DRS activated to turns number 9 and 10. They have gone purple in sector 2. That could be a provisional purple, or it could just be an improvement purple, because the game is still a little bit broken about that. So I'm not too sure what we could expect from Tix at this moment of time, but we'll keep on board with them because this could be the fastest lap. You just never know. So Tix rounding the final couple of corners now, or 13 and then 14. The DRS will activate once again, so they obviously once again get a double boost of the ERS and DRS. They cross the line now. What are they going to do? It's a 1 minute 17.037, and that puts them P2. That's a very good lap from Tix there indeed. Absolutely fabulous. Both Aston Martins yet to set a lap time. One has unfortunately invalidated, and the other one, which was Mr. Bust, going absolutely wide at turn 4 to get out of the way of Tix, to make sure they don't impede within their qualifying lap. They're actually on a lap now, so let's go on board with himself and see how he does in Sector 1, as Kakarinas has a provisional pole time of a 1 minute 16.798. So Kakarinas, the fastest Alpha driver on track at this moment of time. The Aston Martin making their way through the long, you could say, slight S section with DRS activated, making their way now to turns 9 and 10. Very committed to that chicane part, because if you take it wrong or you take it too much to the curb, you could be spinning or you could be into the wall, because that's what I did most of the time. I could try Darkness, but that's as loud as you're going to get it. It is quite, I don't know why, but it is a bit quiet on the PlayStation versions. I don't know why. I'll just do all 10. There we go. That should be loud enough. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, let me know. I will just do that as well. If that's too loud now, then I'm going to let you suffer. I'm only joking. As usual, Mr. Bust there on a quick lap, do a 1 minute 17.180. So that is them P5 at the moment. Not a bad lap time for them at all. We've got Arrow, I believe, back on a quali lap. So we'll see how they can do in Sector 1 at the moment. 3 tenths up, which is very good so far. They've done a 1 minute 19.4, so they're almost in the 1 minute 17s where they roughly want to be. So now in Sector 2, making their way all the way to the end of Sector 2 to turns 9 and 10. 9 tenths up right now, so they are absolutely flying. This could be a good improvement for Arrow in a very good position, potentially a top 10, even possibly a top 5. So keep on board with them just a little bit longer. A little bit of a slight mistake there as well. That could be it. That could be Arrow's qualifying, potentially offline with 8 minutes to go, which means he could be peeling back into the pit lane or wanting to improve it, and he's still going to get this lap time on the board and get it done and dusted. So a little bit of a moment there, a bit of a hairy moment that will hurt him ever so slightly. It's a 1 minute 18.799, and it keeps him in the same position of P14. Bobby McQueen now in the McLaren CP as well. They are starting their lap time. They're doing a 1 minute 36.104. So I'm going to guess that that isn't how fast and slow they currently are. They can go a whole lot faster, shall we just say. So keep on board with them as a look at that. Just because so committed, getting as close as track limits as they possibly can. And they are 43 thousandths up at the moment. So they are trying to find time, and they are really pushing hard. So Let's see if Webby could have a better season, because Season 8 was a bit of an interesting one for himself, but I think he can come back stronger and come back better. And saying that, coming back stronger, that's not what you want to do as well, and invalidate on your lap time when you're a 10th up and gone purple in Sector 2. So unfortunately, that lap will not count. Right then. Scuderia Ferrari, that's Scallop, a 1 minute 16.6, back on pole position with 7 minutes to go of qualifying. They have managed to found pace and they have found time. Excellent to see, and we just love such a close grid and a tight grid as well, so lovely jubbly. Right then, I believe Embassy is on a push lap, so we're going to go on board with Embassy. Again, they are not on a lap. One of the Ferraris, I don't think they are as well, because Verz is still chilling in the pit lane. Peter in the AlphaTauri down in P15 at the moment is on a full qualifying lap, so hopefully they don't get impeded by the Mercedes and the McLaren and the Ferrari, but the Ferrari's a little bit too far away, so it's just going to be the 2 cars ahead of him, which is the Mercedes and the McLaren, making their way now down to turns number 11. DRS now closed and will not open again until they get to the exit of turn 14. McLaren's washed. At the moment, yes, Webby, that is true. But I think you're sandbagging, you know. So, you know, stop with the sandbagging, Kappa. Get out there and do an actual push lap, you know, and stop invalidating as well, Kappa. As Peter crosses the line now. And it's actually going to be a decent improvement at 1 minute 18.936, but that's only going to put them P15. On board with the Aston Martin driver now, yet to set a lap time, down in P19 at the moment. That's right, yeah, sandbagging. Indeed, I mean, see, you're just sandbagging. As the Aston Martin peels into the pit lane, and never to be seen again. Myths, I think, is on a lap. Yes, no, they're not. They have done a lap, so they're currently P6 at 1 minute 17.283. Mintoki, however, is on a push lap, so keep on board of them, a 10th up at the moment, making their way through the slight bent, you could say, S section, which I like to call it because it looks like an S, so we're going to go that 4 tenths up at the moment, and looking to be in the 1 minute 16s if they keep it together. Looking good so far. Purple in Sector 2. They keep it all nice and tidy. This could be a very good lap time for themselves. Getting as close as they can to track limits, using all the track where possible. And AlphaTauri ahead of them at the moment, but won't benefit a tow or anything as they're too far away. At the exit now of turn 14. DRS activated just before they cross the line to complete their lap. It's going to be a mega improvement. That's a good lap time there. And they go P3. A 1 minute 16.805. I think if Jakob is watching right now, he'll be happy to see where his Mercedes crew is at the moment. Mitsuki, look at that. That's great, isn't it, Odanis? That was still a lap there by Minzogi, I must say. Fabulous. Pinax now in the Alpine, 30 thousandths of a second up. Oh, that was a bit close there. Was that a Williams? That was a Williams indeed. That was a bit close for comfort there. But let's see how Pinax gets on. Can they improve up the grid order ever so slightly? The only driver at the moment to actually do a full qualifying lap. We have Mintoki in the background down at Sector 1 near turns 5 and 6. So a bit of a moment there, causing yellow flags. Do seem to be slowing down, probably run out of fuel or something like that, so nothing major to worry about at this moment in time. But Pinax really pushing track limits once again. Wow, all these drivers want to find limits, want to find the time, and they are. But Pinax only a 10th improvement, and he stays where he currently is, which is P12. Ghost Rider now, let's go on board with this absolute legend. Driving for Williams Racing this season, what can they do? Can they improve up the grid order ever so slightly? Currently P13. And I've raced with Ghost Rider before as one of my teammates, especially at McLaren, and they are such a good team player. And if you're ever in trouble or the team needs points, he'll be there to defend, hold up the pack, so you can catch up and you can score points together. Such a great team player. That is another one into the 116s as well. So 3 drivers at the moment into the 116s. Tiggs almost there. but just isn't close enough yet. Maybe the final lap they could be in the 1:16s. We'll have to find out with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. So if you want to get on track right now and get a lap done, you've got to do it very, very shortly. On board of the Williams driver now, Alpine ahead of them. They could benefit maybe a tiny bit of a tow, but hopefully this Alpine will politely move out the way, which Pinex does, which is lovely to see. Ghost Rider doing what they can, being wonderful, being fantastic. Turn 13 now, and then it'll be turn 14. DRS activated as they cross the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:17.108, and that goes up to P5. Fantastic. Let's go on board with his teammate, shall we? Burning fuel, as you can hear, revving the engine. Let's see how they get on. Well, there you go, Jakob. There you go. Big up Merc indeed. One's P3. Yeah, it's looking good. You're looking good. You could get points for the first round, you know. That would make you, I'd say, very, very happy. Let's see how Ghost Rider's teammate gets on as they cross the line to start their final provisional qualifying lap now. So this is probably where your heart's racing at its fastest, because it's your final lap. If you make one mistake, that is qualifying and done and dusted. Look in the background there, as we see in Sector 2 and Sector 3, how busy and how built up the traffic is getting there right now. So if drivers want to get a lap in, they've got to get a move on, because they haven't got long. They've literally got a minute to cross that line, because if you don't cross that line in time, that is your qualifying done. Right then, his teammate Ghost Rider up by a 10th at this moment of time. Now in Sector 2, flat out section now, DRS activated very, very shortly. And hopefully the Williams driver won't get caught in any traffic, but we'll just see what happens. Now entering turns 9 and 10. DRS closes just for a second as they make their way through the chicane, and then it opens up once again, making their way down to turn number 11. DRS activated, same old, never changes unless there's a safety car, virtual safety car, and oh my goodness, they were very close to track limits there. Don't know how they managed to avoid not invalidating that lap time, but this is what I mean, and I keep saying it over and over again. Drivers trying to find that lap time, going as close as they can to the track limits, use all the track where possible. He'll cross the line now, and he stays he actually goes up to P9, shall I say, at 1:17.293. Incredible. Right then, let's go on board with the McLarens then. Webby spinning down in P13 and 1:17.527. That'll be his qualifying done and dusted. Embassy now down in P18. Can they improve on their lap time as they make their way through turn number 14 now? What's it going to be? It is a 1:17.2 P8 and loses his front wing due to the AI just being AI. Takes crosses the line now and goes into the 1:16.881, but P4. Kakarinas, however, down in Sector 3, gone purple in Sector 2. Scallop has retired from the session because he thinks his lap time is good enough for this provisional pole, but we'll see what Kakarinas can do as they went purple in Sector 2. So we'll keep an eye on that one. They are really, really pushing to the extreme of track limits. Mintoki as well retiring as they think their lap time is good enough for P3. Looks like nobody at the moment is able to compete for the top 3, but here comes Kakarinas as they cross the line. Can they compete for pole position? Yes, they can. And look how close that is between Scallop and Kakarinas. Kakarinas a 1:16.618. Take a bow. What an incredible lap that was. Holy smokes. That was great. As we now have Mr. Bust about to cross the line. Invalidated on their lap time. So that will be them done and dusted. And we'll now get into the actual race for content. But wow. That is very, very close between the top two. Very close. Look at that. We're at the season opener. Okay, let me get this straight. We're at the season opener, and already 9 thousandths of a second separates the top two. And if we have a bit of a nosy at the results from P1 and down to P19, it's from P1 to P15. Everybody is within a second. That's absolutely crazy. I am in shock because I wasn't expecting Kakarinas to slap it on pole position, but they got the lap time just right and somehow mastered some time in the final sector. And bosh. Bosh. There you go. There you go. So now we're into the phase of where the drivers are going to get their setup sorted because part of Fermi is turned off, so they can change their wings, change their tyre pressures, you know, the whole suspension thing, you get it. They change their fuel as well, and tyres, we'll get into that very, very shortly as formation up is off, so we get straight into the 5 green lights when it happens, but we've got to wait 60 seconds, which is 1 minute, so we'll be back to racing momentarily. But stay tuned, because if we've got qualifying lap times like that against Kakarinas and Scallop, what have we got for the race? It's all about the race start. All about your start. Get it perfect. You got it. But we'll see. We will see. As well, Jakub, good luck with ACM. Have fun. Just playing the lovely waiting game now. We set lights for an hour. 45 minutes. Viper Strikes, hello. Thank you so much, buddy, for the sub with Prime. They've been subbed for 5 months. Thank you so much, Viper Strikes. And Suffocating, saying, oh no. Subbed at tier 1, they've been subbed for 5 months. Thank you so much, Suffocating and Viper Strikes, once again for the subs. Enjoy your emotes and enjoy your showing off with the badge. And Darkness as well, thank you for the 100 bits. Poggers in the chat. Here we go then. It's 1, 3, 4, 5 red lights here at the circuit of Albert Park. It's lights out. And away we go. Kakarinas with a very good start. And everybody off to actually a very good start as well. Making their way down into turn 1. Hopefully there's no contact and everyone makes it through safely. And actually, no, they don't. There is Vers round in the background dropping down to P17. Teswell dropping down to P19. Already, Scallop is looking at Kakarinas already on a full attack. Kakarinas on the hard compounded tires, we could see right there. Embassy and is that Nick, I believe, in P5 and P6 already receiving a 3-second time penalty, but that must have been for going wide at turn 4, which is a bit of a game bug, so if they report that for later on, they should get that penalty removed. So for now, we'll just pretend that isn't there. There's yellow flags happening left, right and centre, and actually Scott's already going to compete and go for the lead of this race on lap number 1, making the move already, and that's Scallop up into P1 and making their way through 9 and 10, and Kakarinas on the hards. Scallop seems to be on the medium compounded tyres, so the mediums are going to be your best bet at this moment of time. So Kakarinas with a lot of work to do. Battles happening left, right and centre. Both Williams drivers almost going at it, with Ghost Rider in P6 and his teammate comfortably behind in P7. Both seem to be on the same tyre strategy as the mediums, and we're all trying to chill out now, but it's crazy lap 1, and Mintoki as well in P3 setting eyes to challenge very shortly on the rear wing of the Alfa Romeo of Kakarinas, so we'll keep our eyes peeled for that one. But Embassy with a very good start, they're in P5 holding their position, and we'll see what happens as we've got the Alpine going very late on the brakes, and that's Sammy trying to compete with Miss right now into turn number, I'm trying to think where we are now, turn number 5. They're still almost going to be wheel to wheel, but the Alpine decides to back off there and let the Red Bull through. We'll keep on board with this battle because it's going to be brewing as we make our way through 6 and 7 and onto the massive straight now of where the Alpine will get a very good sow off the Red Bull, and both Williams are looking very close together, but hopefully they won't fight too much, because if they fight quite a lot they could lose a lot of time. So hopefully both Williams drivers are going to work together. Right. So it seems it's starting to calm down. We're already on lap 2. Lap number 3, the DRS will be activated. So once that's activated, all the drivers will get a boost of ERS as they're using now, but also get an extra boost of the DRS where the DRS zones come into play on the straights, especially on the exit of 7. It opens up later on, and yeah, that is probably where the prime overtaking opportunities are going to happen. A 1 minute 20 going out to Scallop there, the fastest driver on track at the moment, but it's Kakarinas on the hards doing a very good job, shall we say, keeping with P1. So it's looking good for them so far. We've got Hugh Jazz in the background making up a position to P17 on test wheel, and Pineax actually peeling into the pit lane. So test wheel and Jazz will both get a gain of a position there, and Pineax will lose 2. And actually Miffs is in the wall. Miffs has crashed, and that has brought out a virtual safety car. Lap number 3. And we've had our first retiree, and that is going to be Miffs down in P14. What has happened? It looks like he's lost the car there on the entrance of turn 5. And like I said, you've got to keep 100% focused on this track, because if you don't, one major mistake or minor mistake, even the one-sized error, could put you in the wall. So that is Miffs race done and dusted at the end of lap number 3. Now this gives a chance for all the drivers to recover their battery and chill out on their tyres. So technically this would help out the hards a little bit, or help out the hards a lot, shall I say, because their wear won't be as aggressive at the moment because it's calmed down. As we know, Australia is a very high tyre deg circuit. It will help out the mediums ever so slightly. DRS now enabled as we're back to green flag racing, but no one, or never mind, they will get the DRS. So I think Kakarina should get his rear wing open here. He doesn't get the rear wing open. So maybe he hasn't had the DRS yet, but we'll see if he gets it on the exit of 7 down to 9. And yeah, it's all looking a bit crazy. All a bit crazy. Gap's already starting to open from P8 to P10 to P11 to P12. Gap's starting to open. So the grid starting to split up, which could get a little bit spicy. What also could be spicy as well is Embassy under huge pressure right now from the Williams driver right behind them. Is the Williams going to go for the move? He's going to look to the inside line and backs off. Still looking to the inside line. Embassy on those soft compounded tyres, which will be screaming in pain in a few laps later. We have got lead battles happening up ahead, but we've got this battle right here. The Williams trying to go down the inside here. Embassy giving him just enough space, but with some excellent defending and late on the brakes, they're able to keep P5 just for now. We've got Vers in the background coming down in P number 13 after having that contact and that spin on lap number 1 on the exit of turn number 2, I believe. And Ghost Rider getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Vers slowly making their way up the grid order, but if they want to get back in the points, they've got a lot of work to do tonight. But Vers for right now, chilling. And let's have a look at tyres. Let's go back on board with the lead and keep an eye on that one. So we'll go back on board with Mintoki as they're quite close to the rear wing of Kakarinas. But let's go on board and let's have a look at tyres then, shall we? So half the grid playing the gamble, going on the mediums, some going on the hards. As you can see there, both Alfa Romeos on the hard compound tyres, and the Aston Martin down in P9 on the hards, and in Testwheel down in P16 also on the hard tyres. And that Kalis, actually, never mind, go back to the battle, shall we say. Tix trying to go wheel to wheel there, decides to back out because he knows from last season it didn't really go well for him. So he got penalised for a penalty, but somewhat happened in that corner. So the best thing to back out there, Tix did the right thing of backing out and letting the Mercedes have the space, as we have the Haas, Mr. Grease, down in P13, losing their front wing now and dropping down to P14. So that is going to be a difficult one to recover from, potentially, because when you go in the pit lane and recover your front wing, that's going to take a bit of time. But what's happened actually up at the front of the field is that P6 and P5 are going at it, and one of the Williams drivers have managed to get by. Now it's Ghost Rider that's going to try and put pressure on Embassy as we make our way down to turn number 3 and 4. Soft tyres seem to be dying. Ghost Rider's going to go down the inside here. The McLaren trying to be late on the brakes, potentially where they can. The McLaren, though, does go off track, and in doing so, hitting that curb will slow him down just a bit, and that's Ghost Rider up into P number 6. Fabulous. is all I'm going to say. Mintoki, though, almost on the gearbox, you can see, of Kakarinas. Those mediums are starting to come to play. The hards as well, starting to come to play. We have got Kakarinas, though, under humongous pressure at the moment from the Mercedes. And that was a very close one there. But Kakarinas managing to keep ahead of the Merc for now. We've got more troubles and woes, and that's going to be the Haas of Mr. Greaves down in P17 now, coming out on pit exit, I believe that was, and it got a bit close for comfort between himself, Pinex, and Tesla. We've got Pinex and Tesla down in P15 and P16 having a bit of a fight and a scrap there at the moment. But as we could see, there's a big little train from P7 all the way up to P number 1. So if this train keeps forming, they could run away. But I am flabbergasted by how the hard tires right now are able to keep up with the mediums. It's crazy. It must be something to do with setup or just driver skill, because that is really, really good. Really good. Everyone, though, just chilling out now. Lap number 7, we've still got a few more laps of racing. Like everyone says, you don't win it on the first couple of laps. You especially don't win it at turn number 1, shall we just say. So, yeah, here we go then. On the massive back straight, or slight bend straight, shall we call it, where DRS is activated very, very shortly. The Merc gets very, very close to the rear wing of the Alfa Romeo, but isn't close enough. Oh, the Alfa, though, has a bit of a moment there on the exit of turn number 10 that could have compromised, and the Mercedes was going to look up the inside there, but decides to tuck in to the rear wing for now, and doesn't go for the opportunic move yet, shall we say. This is great to see. There's content left, right and centre. Absolutely amazing. We're on to lap number 8 now, and the Mercedes isn't close enough for a move. Mr. Griso, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Definitely not ideal, and definitely not what you want. Tix, though, back in the battle now. Bit of a slide there out of turn number 2, and he's managed to regain and get where he needs to be, and he's actually drifting, shall we all say, almost into turn 3 and out of turn 4, so that'll lost him a couple of tenths, and if he keeps that up and keeps doing that, that's going to lose him a lot of tyre wear. So maybe tyres are starting to overheat by running behind a car which has got dirty air being thrown at you. That could be a possibility, ever so slightly, but those hards shouldn't be dying just yet. But this is Australia. This is Albert Park. These tyres will die around this track 110%, as we've got Ghost Rider now getting past his teammate and up into P5. Those two going at it, and hopefully from now on going to try and work together. But we'll see what happens as we make our way down to turn number 11. And the Williams of Ghost Rider stays ahead, and his teammate slots in behind. And that's them at 5th and 6th, and Embassy down in P7. So, battery levels. Ferrari ahead has the most battery at the moment, just chilling. Like I said, no need to push really, really hard. Just got to chill, and you'll be doing well. Looks like both Williams drivers are trying to go at it, and that's Ghost Rider trying to get into some like clean air to probably cool down his tyres. But we could see a scrap between these two. Hopefully not, because that will slow them down ever so slightly. And they want to score good points here, and you never know, could be in a chance of getting a podium. We'll keep our eyes peeled for that one, as we've got Arrow down in P12 making a position up to P12, as Peter down in P13. Arrow's teammate pits for, I'm guessing, a fresh set of tyres onto the hards. And if it was a front wing change, it's just been changed now because we missed it, but it looked like it was just a tyre change to the hard compound. We're going to go back on board, though, with Kakarinas, because they are gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining on the Ferrari. Though there's contact between them two, and that is actually going to be the Ferrari having wing damage. Scallop in P1. Kakarinas drops down to P7. Bit of an interesting one there, because you don't really see overtakes happening there. Kakarinas was ahead into the corner, but did he give enough space? Did the Ferrari give enough space, or did the Ferrari have a bit of understeer, or did the Ferrari think, oh, he won't go for it, and he went for it, but You never know. But the Ferrari Scallop is into the pit lane on lap number 9 due to having that wing damage. Tixo now fighting for the lead of this race as we make our way down to turns 1 and 2. Mintoki in the lead in P1. Kakarinas down in P6. A 2.7 gap. He's got to jump up now to get back in this train. Definitely not ideal between those two. The stewards will definitely have to look at that one because I'm guessing that one will most definitely be reported. So, yeah. Going to be a busy one for when the stewards go out and about and look through the reports. But, yeah. Bit of an interesting one there. You don't really see overtakes happen there. But maybe the Ferrari just didn't realise the Alpha was going to go for them. But, you know, we'll see what the stewards' outcome is and we'll see what happens. With what? Because it's a difficult one is all I'm going to say. It's a bit difficult. But on board then with Arrow down in P12. Right ahead of them is Scallop, who obviously had that contact with Kakarinas and had that wing damage, so they're quite far down the order now, so they've got a long way to go to this race. But with a long way to go to the end of this race, with where they are at the moment, they might need to box again, or they might just struggle towards the end. But that is someone retiring from the session, and that does bring out a safety car on lap number 11. A very good opportunity, excuse me, for the soft runners at Embassy. A very good opportunity for himself and the medium tyres. The medium tyres could be dead by now, so it could be a good thing for anyone in the mediums and the softs to bail into the pit lane and get those hards on. And that really does help out the likes of Arrow and that, who are at the back of the grids, to fight, shall we say, for some points. So if you're just joining us, lap number 11, our second retiree, hash driver, Mr. Grease, and he brought out our safety car. So lap number 11, under yellow flags, and racing action will be neutralised for now. That is huge for McLaren indeed. Very huge there. Indeed, indeed. Embassy played the right gamble. P5, 10 laps on the softs. Big moment for McLaren. McLaren could be on for the win here. So we'll see. Obviously, Webby down in P16 at the moment, so they've got a lot of work to do. But it will be bunched up with the field once again. Let's see. They all do come into the pit lane, which was expected. So Tix will go on to the mediums and Mintoki will go on to the hards. I'm guessing. But what will the McLaren go on to? It's going to be the medium compound tyres for Embassy. Interesting choice. Where does Scallop come out? Scallop is approaching turn number 13 now. Slowing down because of the Delta. Now at turn 14. Not going to box. Going to stay on the same compound of tyres, which is the hards. And they'll make a position up on their teammate into P8, sorry. So there we go. Let's go Mintoki indeed. Mintoki in the lead. Well, there you go. There you go. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. The GOAT has returned. Hello, Nadeem. How are we doing? How are we, good friends? Mintoki will win. There you go. Calling it right now. Ricey. Well, there you have it, chat. Nadeem jumps in. He's hyped. I'm hyped. If you're hyped for the end of this race, make sure to stay tuned because Nadeem's just dropped the bomb and said Mintoki's for the win. Mintoki's going to do it, so better stay tuned and find out who it's going to be. Hello, Cos. How we doing, buddy? Well. Oh, yikes, imagine not being at home before tier 1. Oh, it's done it again. Apologies, chat. Give me a second. We do love technical errors, don't we, chat? Just a sec. Just a second. There we go. That is better. Yeah. Apologies about that one, chat. Didn't mean for that to happen. So what can we see so far from this outcome? Well, we can see that obviously Mintoki's in the lead, Tix in P2, the Williams in P3, Embassy in P4, very good place for themselves at this moment of time. Tyre-wise, Kakarinas. Interesting choice on the soft compounded tyre. Lots and lots of drivers on the hards, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers on the mediums. So there you go, someone on the soft tyres thinking they can make it to the end of the race on the softs. Interesting. Safety car will be in this lap as well. So make sure. Stay tuned. And get ready for some hyped, pumped up action. So here we go then. Mintoki will lead us through the final corner of turn 14 now. Bunching up the pack, backing up the pack. When's he going to go? He has gone. And Tix, not a great reaction from themselves. Under pressure now from the Williams as we make our way down into turn 1. Tix very late on the brakes to defend that one. And that's 6 on the mediums, having the better pace at the moment. So maybe Tix could compete for the lead, potentially. Embassy, though, on the mediums as well, in P4, looking to get past the Williams as soon as possible. We've got movement happening backwards off the grid, and that's going to be both teammates almost getting in each other's way. Pinax with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that's Arrow up into P13, Peter down to P14, and Pinax in the background getting that penalty at turn 4, which could be removed if he reports it because it's a bit of a buggy corner. And back up towards the front of the pack now, we've got Sammy making a position. I believe that was on Scallop, and they're up into P6, Scallop down to P7. Kakarinas trying to make his way up the grid order now on the soft compounded tyre, really is flying here, battery draining. Was thinking for going for the lunge, but I thought the smartest thing was back out of it. They are flying up into P5 at the moment. They're going to make their way through the grid as they can in a safe manner, and I thought they were going to go for a move there as well, but they didn't. As, oh my goodness, Alpine going very wide there, almost going into the back of the Alfa Romeo. Now under humongous pressure from Scallop, and Scallop could get the position for P7 done just as we make our way down to turn 1 now. And it looks like they're still wheel to wheels. They make their way out turn 1. There is slight banging of wheel of contact. Ghost Rider now trying to pick up the scraps and potentially get up into P7. It looks like it is. Scallop is blocked in there. There's nowhere Scallop could go, but he's going to go late on the brakes. Late as they can. Can they get it done? No, they can't. Ghost Rider trying to find a way through. Scallop is off the tracks. Ghost Rider's off and has retired. That could be another safety car, and it's a virtual safety car. Ghost Rider out. And oh my goodness. That is why you don't go 3 wide at turn 4. God damn. Once again, this gives the drivers a time to relax, chill out, and recharge their batteries, and a good time for the mediums to chill and the hards to chill as well. But damn. What a crazy restart we just had there. Holy smokes. We're just waiting patiently for the virtual safety car to finish up. And then we can get back to green flag racing. Any second now. Shouldn't be too long. Put under caution. And that's DRS enabled, and back to green flag racing ticks with a once again not a great reaction, and going to be under pressure now from the Williams as they make their way out turn 6, heading towards 7 and then towards 9 now. And yeah, not a great reaction, but 6 able to run away now, build that gap and get in the tow, get in that slip and try and get past the Mercedes where they possibly can. Heading towards the back of the grid now, both Aston Martins getting close for comfort. One Aston Martin trying to gain on the other Aston Martin. In the background we're seeing Alpha, which I believe is Kakarina's, pushing and pushing, actually on the grass there, shall we just say. Absolutely crazy. Gonna go for a late lunge move, and there is contact between them two. McLaren, Alpha come together at turn number 11. Was that move a bit ambitious? Most likely, but we'll see what the stewards also say about that one. Ticks right on the gearbox here of Mintoki. Might go for the move here as we make our way down to turn number 1, and he does with DRS helpfulness. He gets past up into P1, and 6 looking to maybe win the race. We'll find out in a few laps later when those mediums start to die off a lot more than the hard tyres. Vers now slam dunk, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings within the circuit. Sammy trying to get past Scollop now, trying to compete against him once again. Now it's Alpine off the track and receiving a 3-second time penalty, and the Aston Martin says thank you very much, I'll take P7 and I'll try and get past Scollop myself. Scollop on the hards could be under pressure from the Aston Martin when DRS is activated very, very shortly on this back straight. That is a bit outrageous by Kakarina, so I will put my hands up there. That was a bit of a late lunge. You know, they did let go of the brakes, try and go for the move, and they did make slight contact, you know, with the McLaren. But like I said, whether the stewards sort that one out, and yeah. We'll see what happens as we've got more moves happening in the background. That's now Sammy defending from Jazz for P8. So much happening. It's absolutely crazy. Kakarinas in P4 at the moment and actually spinning. And that could be a little bit of karma. A 1:20 point something at 0 that was, and then it was Embassy a 1:19.915. Kakarina's tumbling down the order. That could be a bit of front wing damage, and on the soft tyres as well. Lap number 18, and not a good start to the opening race for themselves. That's karma. It could well be, as we see Pinax now down in P10, trying to get past Arrow. Arrow up into P9. Arrow having a very good race, second half of the race so far. And he's now under pressure, I believe Pinax is, from test wheel. And this could be Pinax potentially out of the top 10, or it could be. And we've got another retiree, and that's Peter. Crashed at the same location on the exit of 5, exactly where Myths had that moment. Peter, second, or no, actually 1, 2, 3, 4th retiree, shall we say. And that could be a good chance for people on the medium tyres to box, because we're going to have 9 laps of racing or 8 laps of racing, and it's going to be pure chaos. Pure chaos. It is third safety car, lap number 18. Oh, yikes, a known player. That's not ideal, is it, buddy? That's definitely not ideal. Everybody peeling into the pit lane. We could be seeing the soft tyres, most likely. Are we going to get any drive-throughs? No, but everyone is literally peeling into the pits. And never mind, someone's been disqualified from illegal blocking. And that's Scollop getting disqualified for illegal blocking. Hey! Illegal blocking? There's no way. There's no way. No way. Someone got disqualified for illegal blocking for entering the pit lane. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled just in case it might be a red flag or something. I'm not too sure. I want to just double check. So I'm going to look in the paddock and see what's going on. And it most likely might not be, but we'll just keep our eyes peeled and see what happens. Well, that's the new one to me. That's the new one. that is an interesting one. Right. Keep Discord open in case anything happens, but for now, it's still to the end of this race with lap number 19 to lap 20 very, very shortly. If we have a look at the tyres, it's looking like, okay, never mind. Okay. Now, this just got spicy and very interesting. Lots of soft runners on the soft tyres. Could be used. I could be wrong. But we'll find out. Medium runners. Arrows not boxed. They're stayed out on the track, on the hards. 8 laps on those. So they're going to have to do some excellent defending if they want to try and get any chance of points. But we'll see what happens. Safety cars still staying out as we're just waiting for Mr. Bus down in P14 to catch up and we can get back to green flag racing. But that is interesting. Mediums come to play, but a lot of drivers on the soft tyres. A lot of drivers on the softs. And our most gained positions right now is going to be Arrow taking up 14 positions this race and then P6 taking up 11. Absolutely crazy. That is an interesting one, I will say. The real. What exactly happened? What happened? It's just a bit confusing to me, if you know what I mean. And Twins as well, buddy. I do appreciate for the kind words. I did see a message in chat. I appreciate for the top-notch comms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do try my best. And the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So let's let drivers prepare themselves for what could be a crazy restart, shall we just say. So now we're going to have Arrow backing up the grid. As we see all the cars making their way out of the chicane now. Turn number 10. Making their way down to turn number 11 now. But let's see what can happen here. Because it could all go wrong. Or it could all go right. We'll see. Tyres. I can show you right now, very, very quickly, GG. Those are your tyre situation right now. Mediums, only a few. I say a few, only a small amount on the mediums. A lot on the soft tyres. And let's get back and concentrate on the restart. When's Arrow going to go? Arrow's going to go any moment now. And he has gone. He has reacted. 6 with a poor reaction. The same from Mintoki. Not a great reaction for them. What is interesting is that Embassy's already competing on the Williams. Down into turn 1. The Williams does go late on the brakes, but that might allow Embassy to get a very good slip and a very good tow. And maybe an opportunity move down into 3 and 4 we go. Is he going to turn down the inside? He is. Late on the brakes. Oh! Almost collects the Mercedes there, Mintoki, and in doing so, have no idea how that's happened. Spinning as well in the background. Embassy, a 3-second tyre penalty for multiple warnings. We've got a retiree again, that's Tesla, double DNF for Haas. Embassy almost collecting the Mercedes on the restart by trying to go very late on the brakes. Holy smokes. Also Tix as well having a moment there. Off into the gravel at turn number... What is that? Number 6. That's them. Off in sector 2. No front wing. Not sure what happened there. Definitely not ideal. Not a great day for Alfa Romeo, shall I just say right now. But it could be a good day for Mercedes as they've gone into the lead of this race now. Arrow dropping down to P2. Sammy in the background. Up into P3. Could contend on Arrow very, very shortly as we make our way through 13 and almost through 14. Yeah, definitely not ideal. Poor Tix. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Tix was on for a stellar performance here. But having contact, losing the car, I'm not too sure. Didn't really see what happened because we were concentrating on the late braking move there from Embassy, almost collecting the Mercedes. But they're trying to almost go 3 wide in the background. A bit of contact there between all the drivers. Arrow getting a slight budge and nudge through those parts of the corners there. Arrow really dropping positions here, though. Really starting to cause a bus stop, shall we say, and dropping now from P1 all the way to P5. I'm going to own on lap number 22. It's not going to be P6. There's nudging, there's barging going on. Arrow off track as well. The Ferrari getting through. Could Webby make his way through up into P7 against Arrow? Webby's going to go around the outside here on the soft tyres versus the hards. Better straight line speed, better traction, better grip. That's Webby up into P7. Next is Embassy to try and get past the AlphaTauri. Hopefully not going too late on the brakes. And that's going to be someone leaving the session, but they're saying they're in the pits, so I'm not too sure what's going on with that one. But Tix, yeah, they'll be feeling the pain on that one. They will definitely be feeling the pain and definitely not happy with whatever happened there. But oh, Aston Martin's off as well. Contact, and that is someone else off, and I think that's Arrow off track as well. That is off Arrow off track. Kakarina's now promoted to P9, and wow, it's all going on. It's chaos. It's carnage on the restart here, and we're only on lap number 23. DRS enabled, and Sammy 1.8 away. Arrow has retired in the pit lane. Yeah, but Sammy 1.9 away from P1. Mintoki so far taking what could be his race win for the opening race of the season and can make Jakob very, very happy and very, very proud. Kakarina's now a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Definitely not ideal as we make our way through the long back straight now where DRS will be enabled very, very shortly. Jazz with the DRS now. Not able to gain on the Aston Martin as much as the Aston Martin also has a DRS. Verzo flying as well, getting past Pionex and up into P5. Now making the way into turns 9 and 10. DRS activated once again. Double dose of DRS around the circuit when you exit turn 10 down to turn 11. And not looking too bad for the Ferrari driver. He's absolutely flying. Does have a penalty to his name, but there is penalties ahead of him. But isn't, so we'll just see what happens. Both McLarens in 7th and 8th at the moment. Webby is the only one from McLaren not to have a penalty. Jazz, fastest driver on track, a 1 minute 19.677, and very much gaining on P number 3. And that's going to be the Aston Martin. Jazz trying to be late on the brakes as we make our way down into 3 and 4. And is he going to be able to get the move done on the Aston Martin? Not looking like it at the moment. Sammy, though, under humongous pressure from the 2 drivers behind, trying to do the best they can. And that gap is starting to come down ever so slightly. It was 1.9, it's now 1.8, and it's dropping between 1.8, 1.7, 1.6, then just jump up again. So it may seem that the Mercedes just has that little more better straight line speed compared to Mintoki. Tix now 1 minute 18.592. Fastest driver on the track, currently in P11. Nowhere near scoring any points today, unfortunately. Bad luck just comes into play, so hopefully they can do better at round 2 at Vegas. And oh, there's contact, and that's P2 in 3 rounds. And I believe that was that P2 in 3? No, it wasn't P2 in 3. Sorry, that was Pionex having contact with a fellow. I believe it was the Aston Martin or something. So yeah, apologies on that one. Getting a bit muddled up there, but nevertheless, lap number 25 now. And Pionex down to P6, Webby up into P5, and that's Jazz getting through and past Sammy for P2. And what has Jazz's pace got to show here? Let's have a look. What can he do? It was a clean 360 from the Aston. I will say that in playing. That is true. That is very true. Who's Jazz fan, by the way? No worries, Soybean. Welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing? And yeah, your buddy Jazz so far is doing well. Webby McQueen now, P number 5, And no penalty to his names. At this moment of time, if he keeps this up, he could be on to score a podium position here for the opening season of this race, which I think he'd be very, very happy with how bad his first stint went in the race and how terrible his qualifying was. So if Webby keeps it nice and calm and relaxed and no penalties to his name, he could be on for a good result here. And we could have a switch by Vers, who is having a stellar comeback at the moment. And he's turned on that battery. No, he hasn't. It's just straight line speed. He's looking so good. Jazz, though, doing some excellent defending, keeping Sammy behind, keeping Sammy at bay, and also keeping Vers at bay. But Vers trying to pick the right moment to get through and up into P3. Making the way out of turn 14 now, heading down to turn 1. DRS activated and enabled. What is Vers going to do here in this situation? He pulls out, he has a look to the right hand side and pulls back in to the rear wing of the Alpine. Thinks, you know what, I'm not going to go for the move just yet. Lap 26, just a little bit too early to go for the move. Whilst all that's happening, Webby's able to catch up and gain on the cars ahead. And see if he can probably get a position out of this. I believe he could get 2 positions. He could even get a podium on track if he plays his cards right. Because Pinax is starting to drop out of the DRS of Webby McQueen, which will really help out his teammate, which is Embassy, now going to go for the move for P6 with DRS now enabled and try and get as close to his teammate as possibly as he can. And he's around about literally under a second, and will now be within a second. Does he get the double dose of DRS? Yes, he does. So he'll be back with his teammate. And that's McLaren 6th and 5th. A very good start for them. Working together, working as a team can really help out. Now, on the exit of 14, is the Alpine going to have another chance to strike on Jazz, who make our way down to turn number 1. Jazz does look like he's going defensive, swerving just to get some clean air and see what he can do. Sammy, though, P3, wants to get P2. Vers right behind in P4. Wants to get into P3. Just can't at the moment. Trying to go late on the brakes and try and get as close as they can. There is a Williams on track at the moment. Just seemed to have bugged out, which is unfortunate because it does say that in the pit lane, even though they're not. Arrow has left the session, unfortunately, due to having that retirement in the pit lane, as he had contact, had enough, and hopefully he will come back better and stronger for round number 2 of this race. Alpine with DRS activation. Is he going to go for the move yet? As we're about to almost commence the penultimate lap of this race. Alpine, though, isn't close enough, but the Ferrari of Vers is. He activated that battery, finally. He switches to the right, he switches to the left. Which way is he going to go as we head down to turn number 11? There is contact. He is shoved to the grass and off track. This could mean Webby could get up into P4 now. Bit of a contact there, and there's actually Webby having contact with Vers, losing his wing and dropping down to P6. Webby's day going from very bad to very good to bad once again. That's Webby with front wing damage and going to struggle for these last 2 laps of racing here at Albert Park, known as the lovely place of Australia. There you go, Mr. Who was it in the chat? Just hold on. Is it Murtux? I think it's how you say your name. _23. If you look there, buddy, Darkness has pinned the Discord there. No, it's fine. Don't worry about your English. Don't worry about your English. Oh, we've had contact there as well. Pinax and Kakarinas having contact once again. Kakarinas round, Pinax round. Definitely not ideal. There's going to be lots of stewards reports, I'll tell you that now. But yeah, don't worry about English barriers, mate. Do not worry. But when you join Phoenix Simspot and you want to race for F1, yeah, you will love it here. Trust me. Right then, Embassy Vers going at it now. Embassy trying to get past Vers, but Vers back into P4. There's a lovely of a battle of a brew going on here. But as we make our way around turn number 14, heading down to turn 1, Mintoki will take us for the final time for the season opener down into turn 1 for the final time here at Australia, Albert Park. They could be on for the win here. But it's not done and dusted yet because any slight mistakes, any bottles, any major errors could slip up and Jazz could take the lead any moment. Did I miss that hard, did I, Cos? Yeah, I probably did because I don't know what you're on about, to be honest. It is, Cos. Your work is definitely going to be pain. And right on board with Sammy then. Really starting to push the boundaries of this track now. We've got Embassy draining the battery now, going for it, burning, wants to get past Vers, could get a provisional podium here, but he's really got to push because he's around about 4.3 away, so he's got to get under 3 seconds, I believe, but we'll see what happens towards the end of this race. We're going to turn our eyes, though, to the front. It's Mintoki making their way through turns number 12, through at turns number 13, and then the final turn for the final time for Tier 2 tonight, turn number 14, Mintoki will win the season opener of Season 9 here at Phoenix Simsport. They cross the line, Mintoki on top, takes the win, take a bow to Mintoki. Jazz takes a provisional P2, absolutely fantastic. Embassy will take P4, Vers will take P4, Embassy will take P5, Aston Martin will take P3, Pinax will cross the line to come home in P6, but actually it'll be Webby in P6 due to penalties. Pinax P7, Kakarinas will cross the line in P number 8, Mr. Bust crosses the line in AI mode, I believe that is, and then Tix rounding the final corner, turn number 14, and we'll finish in P10. But take a bow to Mintoki. What a stellar performance from them today. What a stellar performance. That was a race for the Silver Arrows. Right. Let's have a look here about interviews, shall we? Indeed, darkness, indeed. Special announcement, Mintoki opens the Tier 2 season with a race victory. Let's see if we want any not penalties. I don't want any penalties. Let's see if we get some cheeky interviews quickly. Right then. So whilst we wait for a response for interview-wise, let's have a look at the classification for the grid. Mintoki in P1 then. Stellar performance from themselves. And then it's going to be Jazz in P2, racing for Red Bull, and the Aston Martin down in P3, Vers in P4, Embassy in P5, Wobby in P6, Pinax in P7, Kakarinas finishing off in P8, Mr. Bust finishing in P9, and finishing off for the final points paying position is P10 for Tix. And then having a look down, all the way down to P19, and lots of DNFs and lots of reports probably going to happen. Yeah, definitely. She was truly on fire. Are we going to get any cheeky interviews, though? Or are we not going to get any? I don't think we're going to get any interviews. Let's do one more. Cool. I guess. We'll look at the interview room because there might be someone in the inters. There was no one in there. Lovely to hear you join the Discord server, buddy. I'd be happy to have you on the grid racing with us. Dun, 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 dun. Right then, so unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get any interviews done today. But you have got tier 1 very, very shortly. And the person doing tier 1 is the wonderful Darkness in the chat right now. He'll be taking you for some lovely, lovely commentary. But that was still a great race to watch. I might be back next week, or it could be Panos back next week, but stay tuned for that because that was absolutely fantastic. You've got tier 1 very, very shortly. Stay tuned. You guys have been absolutely wonderful, have been absolutely fantastic. If you want to leave any positive feedback or any criticism, you know, positive criticism about my commentary, skills-wise, where to improve, feel free to get in contact via my Discord DMs, and do join us in the Phoenix in Sport Discord. All the information is down below. Make sure also to follow our social media of Twitter to keep up to date with what we do with ACC-wise, F1-wise, and everything else. Also our YouTube channel as well, where all the VODs will be uploaded, so make sure to keep tuned for that one. If you want to watch the VOD back, it will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. But guys, you've been awesome, you've been fantastic. Catch you in the next one. This is me, Mr. Flynn, signing off. Bye!